The Cleen Foundation has called on Nigerians to provide necessary information to the police to ensure they carry out their duty effectively. The executive director of the foundation, Gad Peter, stated this in Abuja at a methodology workshop for the assessment of the Nigerian police. Peter, while commending improvement in service delivery by members of the police force, tasked them to continue to live up to their mandate of providing security for all Nigerians.
What we're doing now is to ask ourselves, how far have we gone on this journey? And clearly, we must say there's a departure from the past, especially since after the NSAS protest. Departure in the sense that the police is more responsive, departure in the sense that the police is more proactive, departure in the sense that it's no longer business as usual. In the past, when a police officer commits an offense, you probably don't hear the outcome of this punishment or sanction that has been meted against such a person. But in the last couple of months, we've seen the police coming out clearly to say, no, we don't encourage certain practice among our men and officers. We sanction this person and we're doing it publicly. You remember the police officer that on a highway that was saying that taking bribe was normal. We all know that at the end of the day he was sanctioned, he was dismissed from the force. We've heard of how a woman recently, a professor, beat up her police orderly. We were all following the trend and how the police are responding to that issue. So we think that we're not there yet, but steady progress is being made. That the police is responding to people complaining on social media and Twitter, Facebook, that if you have a video and you share, the police are quick to say, no, this is not acceptable, and appropriate measures are taken to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So we think we're not doing bad. And concerning the issue of community policing, I think what we're encouraging is that there must be mutual respect between the citizen and the police, that the perception that we have, the suspiciousness that we have, the misconduct that we think people are doing, we must make it an issue of the past and be more forward-looking and proactive in the relationship that we're building. And again, it's a win-win situation. If you have an effective and efficient policing, it means that you're going to have a safer country where everybody will flourish. So it's for our own good to support the police to work. It's for the good of the police to ensure that the citizens are safer and happy having them around. We don't just sit in one place and allow things happen, but we investigate and follow up. So we need to now ask the police, for these people you're letting go, how do you monitor them? How do you ensure that you know their movement? But again, in Nigeria, because of our population, because of so much distraction, because we don't have the right people sitting at the right places, people don't even do what they are paid to do. But in an ideal society, when you discharge or dismiss such person, it's the responsibility of someone to track them for the next couple of years. And then the society too should be able to reintegrate them back into the society so that they can now have other things to do with their time. So your question is very germane, your question is very important, and I think these are what we expect the civil society now to take and run with. Like, okay, all of these people you've taken action against, where are they? Have you reintegrated them back into the society? Are they in your prisons? What are you doing? And again, let me quickly add that the Police Act that was signed in 2020 by Mr. President is a document that not only the police need to make reference to, but even as civilians, as citizens of this country, we need to read that document because it will help us know what is our right and what is our privileges.
If you find a government that generally does not enjoy the trust of the people, the police will not enjoy the trust of the police, because the police are responsible for implementing laws, and if the laws are bad, it is not the lawmakers that will probably bear the brunt. It's the police that have been asked to enforce it. So many of the crises of police are not actually their own, but rather the government policies, the laws that they are supposed to enforce, or the denial of police of resources to do things well. So we distrust police sometimes because we did not get the result we wanted. We reported, they couldn't respond. But we don't expect them to buy their vehicles by themselves. We don't expect them to use personal vehicles to police. So if they are no vehicle, there's no way they will attend to your distress. But usually it is the police who will blame. We forget this interconnection between the police, their behavior, and then the quality of government and governance that you have in place. What you need to do is to start with your policy, because you can have an efficient police that is evil, like apartheid police. Apartheid police in South Africa was very efficient, very effective, but it was an agent of an evil government. So the first thing is for the government to be accountable to be, of service to the people and to, follow democratic processes and culture. Once it does that, it's most likely to be able to establish a police that is democratic in its activities, that its conduct are also consistent with the need of the people. For example, you have the Police Council, you have the Police Service Commission, you have the Ministry of Police Affairs, then you have the regular public service agencies, Auditor General, Accountant General, all these ones, National Human Rights Commission, for one agency. So sometimes they get confused. They get confused and they don't know who to respond to in many of these multiple agencies. So the ideally would be to have police, and they still have the parliamentary agencies, committee, House of Rep, National Assembly. It's more or less to strengthen first the rules guiding the behavior.